I don't usually go live on YouTube. It's kind of a new thing for me. And I don't usually go live this late. For the past week or two, I've been going live really late. But I wanted to make this video. Do me a favor. Everybody that's on my page, if you're a subscriber on my page, I want you to watch this on my channel. I want you to watch this video. I want you to comment. I want you to, tell somebody about it, share it with your friends. They sent assassins to kill me. They sent assassins to kill me. Many of you may not follow my ministry, my church and all that, but we planted a church many years ago. And I remember when we started out, we were so excited about the things of God, excited about prayer, excited about growing, excited about, making an impact on our city. Little did we know that we would face the fight of our lives. I mean, the fight of our lives. And I had no clue, no idea that in my first years of ministry that I would almost die. I would almost die. I never thought, I thought that it was, hey, you start a church, you read the Bible, teach from the Bible, love on people, and that's all to pastoring. I had no idea the warfare I would encounter. And I'm telling you, they sent assassins to kill me. Now, you may be wondering, what do you mean by that? Are you talking about people try to physically kill you? Well, let me explain it. The Bible actually says in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12, we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers, against spiritual wickedness. Actually, it says against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. And having done all to stand, stand therefore. And you know the armor and the articles of armor that is listed in Ephesians chapter 6, beginning with verse 12 on down. But friends, let me tell you something. My first year of ministry, I literally almost died. I mean, I'm not talking about died, where I wanted to quit. I'm talking about almost died physically. I had no idea that we were being monitored and in some instances infiltrated by witches. You see, Satan has a very interesting philosophy. He goes with his philosophy. If you can't beat him, join him. And so literally, one night I confronted a witch. And I almost died that night. I remember being in my bedroom, and all of a sudden, my heart started to stop. And then I started seizing. The room started to turn black. And I felt myself sinking down into my bed as if I was going straight into something. And I thought, what in the world is happening? I literally saw myself being enthralled. And all of a sudden, I shouted at the top of my lungs. I said, Jesus! I said, you spirit of oppression, I bind you. And as soon as I did, literally it lifted. When I looked to the corner, I saw this demonic entity in my bedroom, this demon. It was a demonic spirit. It was like a jellyfish or an octopus. It was translucent. It was hovering over my bed, and it had 8 tentacles. And it looked at me, even though it didn't have eyes. And I looked at it, and it looked at me, and I looked at it, and it was just staring at me. It was as if it was sent to assassinate me. It wasn't as if. It was sent to assassinate me in my sleep. And I didn't even know what was happening. I read Pigs in the Parlor when I was a kid and all that kind of stuff, but I really wasn't as abreast on spiritual warfare as I thought I was. That demon was sent to assassinate me. Was literally sent to assassinate me in my sleep. You don't even realize, some of you don't realize what's happening to pastors. assassins. Years later, we overcame that. Years later, I remember, I've never really told this story publicly. I've never really told this story publicly. I'm going to tell you two other parts of the story. I've never really told this publicly. I remember we had just moved into our brand new building, right? A major breakthrough. It was supernatural. The provision came for us to move. We didn't have the funds. God opened the door for the funds to come. And there was this woman that would visit. She was from a foreign country. And she would come and visit, very beautiful lady. And she would come to the services. And one day, I'm in my building. We just moved into the new building, so I had to do renovations. I had to do, organize stuff. We're in the new building. I was there by myself. I never even told the public the address of our new location yet. We hadn't even launched our new location. I didn't even tell the congregation where the address was at the time. Only a few people in the church knew the address to our new building, because we hadn't moved in yet. We hadn't done anything. And all of a sudden, this woman who would visit, she pulled up in her car. I'm there by myself, and she pulls up in the car, and she asked me, "Hey, can I come in?" I said, "Well, I was there by myself." So I stood in the door seal. There was like a little tiled area right in the opening of the building. It was a storefront. And I stood there in the door sill, and I said, "Well, what can I do for her?" She says, "Yeah, I just wanted to come and speak to you." I said, "Well, how did you find me? How did you find me?" She says, "Well, I was just in the neighborhood," but she never answered my question. I said, "But yeah, I know you're in the neighborhood, but how did you find me?" "Well, I was just in the neighborhood that I stopped by." I never disclosed my location. Nobody knew I was there except my wife. And my wife didn't know this lady. They had never spoken on the phone. She didn't have my wife's number or my phone number, didn't have my email, nothing. There was no contact. And all of a sudden, this woman shows up, and she starts, weeping, and she needs consolation and counseling. And she says out of the blue, "Oh, by the way, can I bring a pie tonight a cake tonight to your prayer service? Don't you guys have prayer? Can I bring a cake?" And I said, sure. Again, I'm pretty young in ministry at the time. So she comes to the service with the cake, and she stands near the table with the knife, and she's serving people slices of cake. Everybody that ate the cake fell ill. One lady ate it and was almost paralyzed, could barely wake up the next morning. And I didn't realize that there are assassins, spiritual assassins, and in some cases, physical assassins that come to churches. They lie in wait. They infiltrate churches. They pretend to be church members. They pretend to love the pastor, and he's amazing. Now, that I talked about assassins, plural, so that was another assassin. Then there are the assassins from 1 John 5. These are people that come, but they come with an assignment to slander you. They try to kill your reputation. They try to kill your character, your name. And so they go to churches, but they don't go to worship and to be amongst the brethren. The reason they go is because they're trying to find an accusation against you. And they will come from near and far. And we've had our share. Thank God we're in a new season now, but I'm telling you, I went through a process where the enemy sent his assassins. He sent his assassins in the form of demonic spirits, entities. He sent his assassins in the form of demon-possessed people with an assignment to kill and to destroy. He sent his assassins in the form of slanderers, false brethren that come in. In fact, I had a person in my church, and I thought they were an intercessor, and so I made them an intercessor. And the Lord spoke to me and says, "This person is not an intercessor, they're an interceptor." They're an interceptor. They're a monitoring spirit. They want to be on your prayer team to know what you're doing so they can pray against you. But here's the good news. It didn't work. Nothing that they tried to do. Isaiah 54, verse 17. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Any tongue that rises against you in judgment shall be condemned. None of their attempts work. None of their attempts will ever work because we are covered by the blood, and so are you. Share this.